digress. So I'm going to go through my tree here and just kind of explain some of my thought process with this. Um, so yeah, I think Furious, you probably don't have to take. In fact, there's probably a better option, but I do a lot of heavy attacks. And like I was explaining with the knife, when you do the light and it does like the vertical and then you do the heavy, so the light heavy combo, and it's the 2 vertical or horizontal, I'm sorry, slices. I think this probably shines a lot more than I realized. So, and then smash him. I think this is good. I know this one's good too. And maybe you're thinking I would get more out of it hitting multiple enemies. The reason I like this more though is because you can utilize it when you're fighting a boss or a monstrosity. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought process there. I feel like I get more mileage out of Smash 'em than you do the best defense. Heavyweight, huge. I've always liked this perk, even when the game was in its older state. I always, although it was 50%, wasn't it? Damage and reduction. I think it was 50. This perk, Linchpin, great, love it. Again, always liked Linchpin. You gotta go here. All the grenades seem pretty good. I thought about switching the bombs away and trying to get that 1 penance, but it's stupid and I don't care about it, so. And I hate, my biggest and only gripe with this update is how if you want to reset, or like if I wanted to change my grenade, I have to kill all these perks. I think a better option would be let me pick whatever I want, but if there's not a line that's being drawn between what I'm picking, then the game won't let me save the build. It should just be like, you can't do that. You can't save this build because it's not, I don't know, consistent between the pathing or something. But I think you should be able to pick whatever, because having to delete all this just to pick a different grenade, I can't be bothered, I'm sorry. So I pick the big grenade because it's great and it's funny. This perk, Soften Them Up, I think is insanely good, and I think every Ogryn should use it. You damage shit all the time. They just take 15% more damage. It's just a buff, and I believe it applies to your teammates as well. So I just think this is nutty. This one over here, this is probably good too. I don't understand impact though, so it means nothing to me. So here's the taunt. I really like the taunt. I think the bull rush is great. The gun lugger thing is great too. I think you can't go wrong with any of these, but I like the taunt because I think it suits my playstyle better. And because of this right here, enemies affected by it take 25% more damage from all sources. Insane. Now, it does denote base damage, so I don't know if it's not as good as I think it is, but I think it's fucking fantastic. And what's your other option? Staggering an enemy. Okay, so that's pretty good too, but I don't know. This just seems so good. Obviously, bigger radius. Huge and amazing. From here, I'm deviating over. Rending is now really strong, so I like this. Plus, you have to take it to get over to the stuff that I want. This, I think, is really fucking good. Yeah, it takes time to fully charge, but if you play right, you can like dodge into a situation and hit them with a fully charged melee. Now, if you also take this, you can't be interrupted. That's really good, but I opt out of that, and I'll go over that in a second. But this is, I just think this is such a great perk. This one over here. Now, they recently nerfed this, didn't they? Because it was +6 stacks. Now it's only +4. Slight nerf. I still think it's good. It's just damage over time when you heavy attack. Also, your heavy attacks come in many forms. So like if you have your melee weapon out, or not your melee, your gun out, like the grenade launcher or something, and you do the special attack where you like smack them with the grenade launcher, the game counts that as a heavy attack, so you can apply bleed with that as well. But yeah, I think this is just too good. Then you get the extra melee. I choose now. I was running stay close for a while, but I don't know. I like these perks up here too much, I think. So I just stay. That one's good too. But I don't know. I just like the I feel like this is more useful to the team because you're killing stuff faster. Now, obviously it's only heavy melee attack damage, but I think a lot of people are using heavy melee attacks. I don't know. I've not played enough other classes to really know, but I feel like you're probably you're not fully charging them probably, but you are going for. So I think you get a lot of mileage out of this. And then from here, instead of going to this side, like I said, where you would think that I would get this, and this is the reason I don't like Too Stubborn to Die, is because if everything is going smooth and everybody's on point, you're never gonna take advantage of this. Obviously, if shit goes south, which it does all the time, then you're taking advantage of it, but I prefer to think that I'm amazing at this game and that nothing will ever go wrong. So we just don't pick this perk. Instead, we pick this because I'm adding bleed all the damn time. So I'm just getting... Oh, you know what? I bet that's why they nerfed this. 6 stacks. It was 6 stacks of bleed, which would mean you would immediately get your max damage resistance. Interesting. Anyways. Well, no, because it's per bleeding enemy. Never mind. Ignore me. If you're making them bleed, you might as well get some defense out of it. That's kind of my thought process there. Again, more rending on elite kills. There's especially on Damnation and stuff. You know, there's a ton of elites. So you're killing them all the time. And now we're looking at 20% rending. You know, for 10 seconds, that's a long time. Rending is great. And from here, instead of going all the way down and getting this, which I think I could do this, and I'd be okay. I would be far squishier, but I'd be deleting stuff faster. But I don't know. Like, especially, okay, so I think if I'm using the Bull Butcher in particular, this is insane because you're mashing a lot of light. So you would just get your stacks of heavy hitter, and then you're just mashing light and cleaving through shit. Anyways, I don't know. I forego heavy hitter because I feel like I serve my team better by being alive longer, but also by offering more in the way of an obstacle for the enemy. So then I pivot over here, right? And then I'm grabbing this because blocking is taunting. Huge. Blocking or pushing, it's so good. It works on anything. It's like a free mini taunt. I think you could make the argument of ignoring Loyal Protector and grabbing Attention Seeker because you're kind of getting a mini version of this, because you can shove more than one enemy, so with one push, you know, so like you could aggro multiple enemies. Again, for me, the big damage buff is really what sells it though. But I could easily see somebody taking this and then going down this tree as well. So I just grabbed this. This, again, payback time, I get hit all the fucking time, so I would probably take a lot of advantage of this. But ideally, I'm not getting hit. So again, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I have to rely on being hit to get the damage. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad perk by any means. But instead of going down this side, I switch over here and I get this. You know, I taunt, and then if people are near me, you know, we're getting movement speed. But really what sells this is being immune to stuns and suppression. Because a lot of the time I'll stun or I'll taunt and then I'll pick somebody up or just try to clear space for people or whatever. So I don't know. I really like this one. From here, the cooldown reduction when somebody kills an elite. Again, you know, you're just killing elites all the time, so you get the taunt back pretty frequently. You have a decision to make here. I mean, I guess you could get all of these, but the way that I have it set, I had a decision to make. So damage reduction for each knockdown or incapacitated ally within 20 meters. Again, now this one I think is worse than this. Because it's within 20 meters. So like if your team is all downed and spread out, like, I don't know. I just don't really like this perk. I don't think it's bad. I just don't like it. So I get to reduce my cost of pushing. Yeah, please, because I'm doing it a lot anyways. Even before this perk existed and in the old game, I was pushing a lot. So I would put like block and push efficient or block efficiency on my weapons a lot of the time. The health, and then I get all these. You know, this is just, I don't know. I really like this keystone. It offers a ton of survivability. When it reaches 0, you push people, get some back. I mean, if this is happening to you more than once every 30 seconds, like, you're in a bad place probably. So you don't really need to worry about it only occurring once every 30 seconds. You get a stack back when you push. Again, I'm pushing all the time, so. And then you get the replenishment per stack, and then that just goes along with where is it? Oh, it's on here. My curios. Yeah. I have the 60% regen speed. And then, you know, like, you get 10 stacks and you get 2.5 more replenishment. Like, it just all kind of synergizes well. And yeah, I don't know. I could definitely tweak and change some things in this build, I feel like, but I really like it. And it works well. And I feel for the most part I can coast pretty well through Damnation without having to like really hyper focus, or I have a margin to make mistakes, I feel. Now, I've certainly failed plenty of missions, but yeah, it is certainly like in the way of hybrid. I would say it's probably more in line with damage, but I still have the survivability. When this first dropped, I think I went like full heavy damage, and I was like definitely like doing more deletion, but I like this center path more. Because at the end of the day, if I can do 1,000,000 damage but I'm not alive, then what good is that? So I'd rather do 500,000 damage and be alive more consistently. So that's kind of where it lies. And like, I like this because I just like the attack patterns and stuff of this more so than the Bull Butcher. I mean, I have a great Bull Butcher and I love it. But I just like the stabbies better. They're more fun to me. And I do think the weak spot, melee weak spot damage really shines through with it as well, like I was saying before. And this new Rumbler that we got, we're going to check it out. I think it'll be pretty tight though. But we'll see.